Is
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. That's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself.
Swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. If you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just gonna sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's gonna go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything.
The arena lights were still fading when the truth finally hit. Gervonta "Tank" Davis wasn't just chasing another fight, he was running from something. In a shocking twist, Davis revealed why he chose to fight Jake Paul instead of giving Lamont Roach the rematch everyone expected. But what started as a career decision has now spiraled into potential legal warfare. Roach is considering taking Davis to court for breach of contract. And when Tank broke his silence, his words cut deep. Even if I fought Roach again, fans would still criticize me. I'm just doing what's best for me. The moment was cold, calculated, almost rehearsed. The real story was about to explode.
Nah, Tank is a money fighter. Who's the bigger money fight for Tank? I don't think that's Shakur.
Who else would you think? Jake Paul?
Yeah, for sure, but I'm not even talking about fake boxing. Like, for sure, he gonna do that if that's it.
In his latest interview, Tank didn't sound like a champion. He sounded like a man untethered. I've been doing this since I was 7 years old, he said quietly. This is the first camp I can enjoy myself. The cameras captured him smiling, but his eyes told a different story, a kind of exhaustion that only fighters who've bled for the sport could understand. He admitted he's been disconnected since his controversial draw with Roach. And the disconnect wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. It was the look of someone who'd already made a deal in the shadows.
I don't want to put a lot out there, but it's just, doing what's best for me and what's right for me, and I've been doing this for a little minute now. I've been doing it since I...
But Tank's answer didn't land well. To fans and fighters alike, it sounded evasive, like a man refusing to open a door he'd already locked. Lamont Roach wasted no time striking back. Within hours, he posted a meme of Lisa Simpson crying, red-eyed, captioned, "Every time he gotta explain why he's fighting Jake." The internet laughed, but behind the humor was fury. Roach's sarcasm wasn't for clicks. It was a public burn, a statement from a man who felt cheated, betrayed, and silenced.
Amongst boxing, pound for pound talent, and me, on the other hand, coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster. That's gonna make me a 2-division world champ. That's gonna make me a 2-time world champ. And that's gonna put me in the...
And the bitterness only deepened. I'm coming up from 130 to 135 to fight this monster, Roach declared, his voice cracking during a live stream. That's what would have made me a 2-division world champ. But that dream disappeared the moment Davis agreed to fight Jake Paul. When the announcement dropped, Roach fired off one brutal tweet. Told y'all, duck, duck, followed by 4 duck emojis that trended within minutes. It wasn't just trash talk. It was humiliation broadcast live to millions.
Thing is, just handle the business right. That's all. Just handle the business right. Don't think you're gonna do bad business with me and think it's just gonna be okay. No, we're gonna call you out every single time. Don't duck a fight with me and fight a YouTuber that's 200 pounds and think it's okay. It's not okay. I don't care what, unless you took the proper...
Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Tank's decision to skip the rematch didn't just anger Roach. It triggered a financial chain reaction. Rumors spread that legal action was next. But when Roach finally addressed the controversy, he shocked everyone. I'm not taking Tank to arbitration, he said. I've been taken care of. His tone was careful, his words measured. He never said how he'd been compensated, but the silence between his sentences said enough.
If I were to go to arbitration, then what? Then you got to pay lawyer fees, or you put your promotional company in a hole where they have to back you because technically it's on them. They're the ones who putting on the fight. That's who I have the contract. That's who draws up the agreement, the contracts, or whatever the case may be. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy for you to do business wise.
A few days later, the missing pieces fell into place. Roach publicly thanked Al Heyman, PBC, and Tank's entire team for making things right. It was the kind of statement that sounds polite until you realize what it means. A private settlement, a quiet payout, and a clean erasure of the conflict before it reached court. It was boxing politics at their finest. When stars like Tank pivot to money fights, the machine around them moves fast, tying up every loose end before the public ever sees the mess.
It don't look like that's gonna happen. For everybody that keep asking me, everybody be on every single boxing page, boxing source, you hearing it from the horse's mouth, it might not happen, or most likely not gonna happen for sure. Same, but I think he dodging that. Dodging God's plan. You know the dude reach out. If you wanna fight or you don't. Simple. That's it. Not a fact.
For Gervonta, though, this wasn't just business. It was something deeper. He admitted that his drive is fading. "I've done enough," he said. "Now it's time to take care of me." After years of wars in the ring, he's no longer chasing legacy. He's chasing peace. The Jake Paul fight is his golden parachute, a payday, a statement, and maybe his exit. But in doing so, Tank has opened a new wound in boxing. A question of what happens when fighters start chasing checks instead of challenges.
Him and Tank Davis weren't friends. Him and Tank Davis weren't cool. They didn't really know each other like that. They were just cordial. This is a different cry from what he said about Tank Davis leading up to his first fight with Tank Davis. And I believe it is because he realized how out of pocket he has been. He realized that, well, let me make it seem like it's not as out of pocket to shit on him after he gave me an opportunity.
Even Shakur Stevenson weighed in, one of the few who spoke with empathy and honesty. He said he understood why Tank made the move, but admitted he wouldn't have done it himself. Tank almost lost to Roach, Shakur explained. If he took that rematch and lost, his value would have tanked. But fighting Jake before that, it's smart business. His words exposed the brutal truth of modern boxing. Skill doesn't always sell. Controversy does.
Can you blame a man for taking that opportunity? Because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then
came Terence Crawford, the technician, the truth teller. He didn't sugarcoat it. "Jake's way too big for Tank," he warned. "That's not strategy, that's danger." Coming from Crawford, it wasn't mockery. It was physics, plain and simple. Paul's natural size and reach could turn a show fight into a slaughter. Crawford's tone made it clear. This wasn't an easy payday. It was a strange gamble where pride and survival hang on the same thread.
What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
But in the middle of all the noise, one fighter stood by Tank, Rolly Romero. "People need to stop acting like fighters shouldn't get paid," he said. "You can't blame Tank. He's got a family to feed." It was blunt, but true. For every millionaire boxer, there are hundreds who walk away broke and broken. Romero's defense turned the narrative on its head. Maybe Tank wasn't selling out. Maybe he was cashing out before the game took everything from him. So what do you think? Did Tank make the smart move, or just sell his soul for the final payday?